What's up, everybody? It's James from Gustin Time. But if you're watching this and you know who I am, you already know that. So you may be wondering why there's been a little bit of a delay on the next episode of Gustin Time. Let's just put it this way. Life is busy and this doesn't pay much. So we have other things that we need to do. Also, a contributing factor is on the last episode, I said I wasn't much of a ghost guy, even though I told some ghost stories. Well, ever since that episode came out, I've been dealing with some things that I can't explain. I've been trying to catch it on video since it started happening. Sometimes it happens when I'm not even in the room. And this morning, at precisely 2 a.m., I did catch it on video. I've tried everything that I know to debunk this, and I can't. There's no explanation, no logical reason for what's happening to be happening. I'm going to go into greater detail with this story on an upcoming episode. And who knows, we might even do a live episode about this in the future. There's a lot of backstory to this, and there's some things that may or may not be related to what's happening that are going on currently in my life. But I'm not going to do that today. That's going to be an entire episode of Gustin Time. I'm going to show you the video that I captured at 2 o'clock this morning. I was half asleep, just laying in bed, watching some TV, trying to fall asleep because a lot of stuff happened last night. And it's getting more intense. Some new things are happening, which are kind of creepy. I'm not faking this. And I understand that a lot of people are going to be skeptical, and that's fine. I'm skeptical of it too. I don't know what is behind this and what's going on, but I know something's happening. And I finally caught it on video. I'm going to string together 2 or 3, maybe 4 videos in this. I'm going to edit them together, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done to try and disprove this. Some just random footage of what's been going on. I don't have an explanation for it yet. I don't know what's happening, but it's something that I can't explain. And if any of you out there want to analyze the footage, you're more than welcome to. I can send you the entire file. It's a big file. I had this camera going in the corner for an hour and a half last night, just trying to catch it. And for an hour and a half, absolutely nothing happens. You can just hear an episode of Dr. Phil live going for an hour and a half. And that's why I'm not posting the entire video on the internet, because it's copyrighted. And that video would get flagged for copyright infringement. So I'm not going to do that. I edited out most of the video. There's about 45 seconds at the end of this video that coincidentally doesn't have anything copyrighted on it. In fact, the episode of Dr. Phil Live that I was watching had just ended. And I'm going to show it to you. But I'm also going to show you some other video that I took last night of what had happened. I didn't catch that on video, but I recorded right after it. I'm also going to include in this some video that I just finished shooting. And basically you're going to see it. But it's a little bit of investigation. It's nothing serious. I was just trying to see if there was some reason that this stuff is happening. I can't find any. Stuff's been happening to me for about 3 weeks. Like I said, right after we released the last episode of Gustin Time, when I said I'm not a ghost guy, some ghost-like activity started happening. There's a lot of other stuff, as I said, that kind of applies to this and makes it a little bit more weird, but that's going to be for an episode of Gustin Time in the future. Our slogan absolutely fits. None of this makes any sense. So if you have any ideas of what's happening or how it's happening after you watch this footage, please let me know. Write into us, gustintimepodcast@gmail.com. And if any of you want to analyze the footage, I can send you the file directly. You can check and make sure that there's no filters on it. The only editing that I did to this was just cut out the chunk where something happens, which is right at the end. I didn't even notice it at first because I was half asleep. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Exactly 2 o'clock, by the way. When I checked the time, it was exactly 2 o'clock a.m. when this happened. So, enjoy, I guess. Okay, so there are the lanterns, both of them on, across the room from me. Alright, let me show you. This is the remote control for both of these lanterns that keep fucking turning on. I don't know how they're doing it, why they're doing it, but they are. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's both. Sometimes they're on this setting, sometimes they're on another setting. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it's been happening for, 3 weeks now? And things are getting a little more interesting around here, so I don't know how it's happening, but it is. Just happened. I fucking got it on video. There's the remote control. Holy shit, I finally got it. Alright, so 2 o'clock this morning. This is where I was. This is the view of where I was, just watching TV there. And there are the lanterns in question, hanging on an elk rack above my desk where I do all of my work, whether it be music, the podcast, research, whatever. So I thought it would be a good idea to use this. This is an electromagnetic radiation detector, also known as an EMF meter. It measures electromagnetic waves in the air. Now, to have zeros all across is a little unusual. As you can see there, a little radiation from my ring light. But when we go over here to where the lanterns are, there's nothing. Now under here, I do have that power strip, but that should not interfere with these electric lanterns. So there's that. I mean, just normal background, really. This is the remote control for these lanterns. As you can see, I'm getting both in frame here. When you push the power button, they come on. But for some reason, that one is on the LED setting, and that one is on the flicker setting. You can change those settings with these buttons here. And it's very hard to control both of them at the same time. There we go. So now I've got them back to baseline. This is where I usually keep them. But in the video that I'm going to show you, what you can see is both of them turn on at the same time on that setting. The exact same time. In fact, let's see if I can recreate what happened. Just like that. Well, almost. It looks a little different to me. But, as you will see, that is where the remote control was. So, when this stuff started happening last night while I was watching football, I got the idea to set up a camera in the corner, right over here, on top of my record player. I used my ring light just as a stand, and this is what I used. This is a Samsung A15. It's my old cell phone. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't even have a SIM card in it. So it's basically just an extra camera that I use sometimes. And what you will see is those lanterns both turn on to the flicker setting at the same exact time. Now you saw what happened when I turned them on. They were on different settings. That one was on flicker and that one was on LED. That shouldn't happen because I keep them on the same setting. But when these things turn on by themselves, they jump around to different settings, and I can't understand it. So with no further ado, here's the video.